Hey soul friends, welcome back.
Indeed, welcome to Soul Vibe Insights. In today's video, we're going to talk about the different things that we have learned about souls in the Akashic Records.
Incorporating these things will give you a big boost in your life, y'all. I'm Maddie.
Hi, I'm Emily.
Okay,
Stay
let's.
tuned.
All right, so let's get into the environment that your soul was shaped in. And what this means is where your soul first goes in the universe for its formative incarnations. This shapes your personality. This becomes an energetic imprint that is always with you through any lifetime, whether you're here on Earth or somewhere else in the universe. These energies are always with you. This is some of the naturing and nurturing that happens as an infant soul for you.
Yeah, and so why this is really interesting to learn about yourself is because it really kind of describes a lot of your quirks and different things about you, like your mental state, and basically where that starts to evolve from with each of your incarnations. The energy in which your soul is made up from will affect each subsequent lifetime. So, for example, and this is a big one that we see with a lot of our clients, is that their soul is created in a higher vibrational field, like a higher vibrational dimension, essentially. So when they get to Earth, it's very hard to adjust. And I mean, you may be feeling this way too. You may be like, I just can't seem to feel comfortable here. There's just something that doesn't feel quite right. And of course, this is a land of duality. So we have all of the different things. We have the physical, we have the emotional, we have the mental, we have the spiritual. And it's all of these things coming together. So there's a lot of crazy energy swirling around. And so the environment in which your soul was created is going to shape, essentially how easy it is for you to really be able to be here.
Consider Earth is third dimension. It's a physical reality. Not everywhere in the universe is a physical reality. Sometimes other star systems and planets are light body realities. They're in the fifth or seventh or higher dimension. So it's easier to expand, to just be. There isn't the contrast of negative polarity and positive polarities like we experience here on Earth. So if your soul comes from somewhere that's seventh dimension or higher and vibrates healing energy and love energy all the time, coming to the earth physical plane where you can experience, yeah, pain, negative things, tough lessons, this can be very challenging for your soul unless you've been here hundreds of times. Then it gets a little easier. The more earthly experience you have, it will get easier. And you may notice that even through your lifetime, some things have got a little bit easier to go through. The same thing happens over hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes for your soul coming here. It just gets a little bit easier, but it may always be a little dense, a little too constrictive if you're a starseed soul that comes from higher vibrations and it's just a little bit easier and stuff. But we find this fascinating to know where your vibe originated, where it comes from, because there's always that undertone, that vibe's always wanting to come through in your human life.
And so while we see more of the higher vibrational beings, just because we feel like those are probably the ones that feel less comfortable here on Earth, there's also the contrast too. I mean, there's definitely mental planets where you don't experience emotion at all in those different planets. You're just all analytical, all like mental at all times. And so therefore the emotional aspect of Earth is going to basically slap you upside your head and give you a hell of a time. But it's still, we're here to learn, and we're here to learn about all of these different aspects of our being and to experience all of those. And it's through that, all this craziness getting thrown all around, we're able to learn and to grow through the contrast.
And as you grow, some of all that craziness being thrown around, you'll find that your soul might be able to remain a little more steady, a little more, this is me. I know this is me here, despite all the craziness happening. But Earth is one of the only places in our universe that a soul can come and experience the amazingness, the strength, and the frailty of being in a human body, in a physical body that could be hurt, that it can experience great pleasure or pain. You're experiencing emotions here. You're experiencing how the mind works, how consciousness works, coming through a body. Your soul's here. Your soul's personality is helping to influence your human self as well. So we get to experience all of this. It's wild and crazy, you know.
So the second thing that we're going to talk about is things that you are naturally good at, but you did not train for in this lifetime at all. There are different trainings that we take on while we're in spirit, and so these different trainings are definitely geared more towards your interest as a young soul, like what you gravitate towards naturally. Your trainings are more like an energetic training to kind of lift you up and say, okay, you're going to have this energy of balance, beauty. So someone who has like this training would be really good at seeing beautiful things and really kind of putting things together, and they'll have like this very balancing energy about them. And I mean, as I say this, you probably can think of someone who has that. Or other trainings are where someone may be very good at, speaking to others, communication, maybe a lot better in front of a camera than I am. We all essentially have these inherent energies that we are just naturally good at.
Yeah, they really become part of your soul's vibe. They become part of that foundation of your soul's personality that's going to show up here. One of the big reasons that we train in these energetic realms is so that as we're here as billions of different souls, we're all bringing different main vibrations built into our soul's personality here. So we're helping to anchor this energy into the earth. Some might be hardwired that intuition and truth matter more than anything. That truth, that getting underneath what somebody might be saying and find the truth of what they're really saying or what they're really feeling. So you could be carrying the vibe of truth with you here, and thank you if you are. Some are bringing the vibe of like inspiration and excitement, and let's tap into your soul energy. This is one of my big vibes that I bring, that I get super excited to talk about your soul's energy and what we do in light bodies and in between our lifetimes and all this stuff that we bring here and how it works. It's my jam. I freaking love it. So I'm helping to bring some of this vibe of hopefully helping to inspire spiritual development or just even self-discovery in a little bit. That brings me great joy to talk to somebody who wants to know anything about their soul. I just light up if I get to talk about that myself.
Yeah, and claiming that personal power. But that's not all. There are other things that you do while you're in spirit that will affect these different innate strengths that you have, that you bring with you in your soul's energy. There are different qualities that you pick up from, the different planets where you're born. Perhaps it's Earth. And if someone incarnates only on Earth, then they're going to have an easier time being here on Earth. It's just going to feel a little bit more comfortable, like on an energetic level, whereas someone who didn't start off on Earth they're probably going to have like a little bit more of an adjustment to get used to the different energies. But as I was saying, there are different things that you do train in. There are different jobs, if you will, that you take on in between lifetimes. These could give you innate healing abilities, someone who can look at systems and know exactly how to put it together, someone who is really good at, agriculture, or...
The one that comes to mind is, we call it the life review counselor. So you train to help when a soul passes over and comes back to spirit. You would help them make sense of what they just went through, to really make sure that the whole breadth of the experience of that lifetime can get integrated into the soul as new learnings and new growth. The life review counselor is naturally going to be basically a therapist here, whether they actually become a therapist. But think of friends that may or may not be a therapist, that are just super easy to talk to and can help you make sense of a few things in your life, and you just always feel better talking to them. You're like, I got this now, thank you. This could be an innate gift that you never trained for, that you're just naturally good at, because when you were in a light body, your soul trained for this. Your soul works on behalf of spirit to help other souls. So we say jobs very loosely, okay? And these are things that you love to do. It lights your soul up and you wanted to do, not, oh, my soul's got bills to pay. I got to get that rent money and car payment together, so I'm going to go do this thing. It's not like that at all. These jobs are huge passion projects for your soul.
And so with that being said, we believe that what's really important that we bring these passion projects with us to Earth. There's so many people that are just kind of living life, you know, on autopilot, like not really knowing what they want or what even makes them happy. And so it's really important just to kind of get to the bottom of that and like really feel into what your personal passions are and what you really love to do. We find that really exciting to work with clients to help them discover those different things. And I mean, yes, people know what they love, but sometimes you kind of get off track. I mean, it's easy to get off track. There's so many distractions.
I find that you're super passionate about something, but it doesn't make sense why. It must be one of those weird things and you just bypass it. But leaning into these passions, these natural innate gifts and strengths is part of your soul's purpose. Is to let the soul come through in your human life, to inspire your human self to be into the things that you love and then find out how you love them here in the human body. I think that's wildly cool.
Yeah. Me too. No, this is one of your favorite topics.
All right, we're about to talk about one of my favorite topics, life lessons. These are literally the self-imposed challenges or the speed bumps on your road to life that you put in place. We've discussed where your soul wants to incarnate at first and some of these trainings that we do and how this builds upon your soul's personality. So you naturally have innate strengths and gifts that you bring here. But in the gamut of all of the potential strengths and gifts, you don't have all of them. So your life lessons are going to help you develop other strengths, other gifts, if you will. And the whole point is to become more wholesome, more well-rounded as a soul. So when you're here, you're even stronger in your human self. You have more skills. You're going to be able to stay steady with who you are despite all that stuff that could be coming at you, because you know that I got this. I got that too. So the life lessons, you can kind of think about the law of attraction, and your mindset will help with some of this. But these lessons, the energies, are built into your chakra system. So you're naturally going to attract scenarios and happenings in your life that are going to teach you about your lesson. If your mindset is thinking life is happening for me versus life happens to me, so you've got a more positive mindset about your life lessons and that, hey, this is a learning. What can I take from it? And then let's move on. Versus, oh my God, this keeps happening to me. And you get into this negative realm. The life lessons are going to keep coming. But if you feel negative about them, you might have to learn through more negative experiences. If you are, let's say, grateful for your lessons, even though they might be tough at times, there'll be more positive experiences to learn from them. It doesn't mean everything's positive or everything's negative, but we can, through our mindset and the law of attraction, help to attract a little bit more positive way to learn that lesson or a negative way to learn that lesson, depending on your mindset, really.
Yeah, so when he was talking about how they're self-imposed challenges, I kind of was like, mainly because they are challenges to a degree, but they don't have to be as much of a challenge as a lot of people make them out to be. So essentially, life lessons are these themes that you explore. So we check into there's over 90 at this point, and we're also a part of a group. So each new finding of this information, goes into this group, and so we update our information with any new discoveries that are found. It's essentially like this ongoing research project that's been going on for over 30 years. That started off with a researcher named Arlen Bach. He kept doing research in the Akashic Records, and he kept finding that there are these different souls that keep coming here You know, in our words, we call them like star seeds or light worker souls, but essentially these souls that come here for different reasons. And so part of his research in the Akashic Records was to find out what these reasons are. And so our Akashic Record readings are built upon this huge body of work that started with him, and then it's been passed through many different researchers and then passed along to us from our mentor, Anastasia. She has this huge body of work, and then we started doing these readings, and we've been finding out just how deeply that all of this information resonates with people, and especially their life lessons. When people find out their life lessons, it is validating, shocking, and really just kind of like, holy shit, you're right. This is what's been happening, you know, to me my whole life. This is the theme that I've been exploring.
The theme. It is kind of like a theme, if you will, totally.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what it feels like. And it's a great joy to hear from a client that you've seen me in a way that nobody has ever seen me, and you don't know me. I don't know how you did it, but wow. And like that, just, I got chills just even thinking about that. Like, it lights us up. We know what we're doing as far as pulling information, and we know how it's going to resonate, the vast majority. Occasionally something might be in your peripheral and you're not ready to see it, you know, but by and large, everything resonates, and it's wonderful to do our coaching call and go through these things and just get the feedback. It's just mind-blowing to me, the stories that have been shared.
And to go into a little bit more depth about, you know, these different themes, there are themes like serenity, themes like sincerity, prosperity, success.
Inner authority is one of my favorites. Respect.
Yes.
Respect for others, respect coming to you, your own self-respect, how that plays out.
Well, that was the point I was about to make, is that you don't just look at these different themes through one tunnel. You're exploring them at all facets. The worst of the worst when it comes to, you know, respect, as well as the best possible scenario of what respect looks like, and everything in between. And so, of course, your mindset's going to make a huge difference on whether it's going to play out a little bit more on the negative side, if you will, or the seemingly bad side versus a more positive side. Because if you are finding out that each time this happens, it makes you super pissed off, and then of course, like that I was gonna say that negation, that negative attitude towards it's going to cause more negative experiences. Whereas if you are positive and have a little bit more positive outlook on it and think, okay, you know, that was really shitty, but I see the lesson, I get it, and then you start to like make steps towards doing a better job at handling it each time, then it's going to become a little bit easier.
And when Emily says that you're exploring it through the polarities of positive and negative, and she said in all areas of your life, I mean, your job, your family, your friends, your lovers, your kids, the strangers you meet, I mean,
Relationships.
Anything is a potential life lesson popping up. That vibration, they come all the time, and they take several lifetimes to fully complete.
Yeah, it's
Think
like
about
5
that.
to 15 lifetimes, depending on how fast or how slow your soul wants to work through it, and how many life lessons you're working on at the same time.
Yeah, some souls will just do 2 or 3. Some souls have 5 to 7. You know, like, I'm on a learning life, bring it. That was what one of our clients said. Just F it up, bring it, let's go. I'm going to learn from it. And I was just mind blown. I was like, that's an amazing attitude to have. I can't imagine what you've attracted in your life, but whoa,
Yeah.
cool, you know. But just think about that. Think about the breadth of your experience, how much you've experienced in your life right here, and multiply that by 5 or 50. And you haven't even finished your life yet if you're watching us right now. So you still have more experience to have. It's just crazy how much you go through. So when you have a respect life lesson, or an inner authority, or serenity, or abundance, you've really experienced the gamut of possibilities through multiple lifetimes to hold the vibration of abundance now, or respect. It's just mind-blowing. It's super cool, I think.
Yeah, and something fun we like to look into is what percentage completion you have with your life lessons. So that's kind of interesting to kind of take note of too as well.
Yeah, we've had some clients be like, I'm 85% done with this, like, woo! Or look at one and be like, oh, I'm only 30% in. I guess I'm going to have a lot of that coming up. So
Right.
it can be kind of fun. It's just a neat little note to know how far you are at this point, you know, and it can give you an idea of your percentage, gives you an idea of maybe how many lifetimes you've been working on it already and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, you don't know. But when you know what your life lessons are, your awareness just opens up so much more acceleration on the learning.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, you're here trying to remember. But if you don't ever remember or break through or know it, but when you know what your life lessons are, then you can put on this lens of, oh, this is about respect. I get this
Yeah.
now. And then you can move on quicker. Maybe get off some of that, well, they did this to me and this happened and that happened. And then be like, oh, well, they did this and that to me, but they kind of were supposed to so I could learn. Okay, yeah, I can not hold a grudge forever and create this big negative thing about it. I'll try my best to let bygones be bygones and move on. You know, it can help with some of that victimhood consciousness and stuff that we can go through at times. It doesn't make what somebody does okay, but at least in the big picture you can look at, maybe I needed this little moment to happen so I could learn something.
Yeah, like Maddie was saying, it really just brings awareness to your life, and it really expands your awareness in all different directions because you really start to recognize that theme within your life, and it kind of allows you to have a little bit more just ease with it as well. So life lessons,
Yeah, keep that in mind.
they're pretty cool.
The stuff coming your way might be about your life lessons. Hey soul friends, if you've been enjoying the subject matter of soul energy and soul traits found in the Akashic Records, we'd love your support. We're a new channel. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe. We're just getting started. Emily and I have been into spiritual development and energy healing and pretty much all things metaphysical for the last 25 years. We love this stuff. If you found something in particular especially kind of fascinating, let us know in the comments below. If you got a question that wasn't answered, let us know. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. The fact that you're watching this and into this subject matter, we're each other's peeps, for sure. So don't be shy, say hi. We'd love to get to know you. You're also gonna not want to miss part 2. It'll be popping up here any moment. And if you found yourself interested in our work, in our Akashic Record readings, there'll be a link in the description below for the Soul Journey Akashic Record reading. All right, we'll see you part 2.